Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Ram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayet
Tato Jayamudire
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Prayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Ruttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1 Chapter 8 Verse 6 Yachayitva Swamedaistam
Yajyavitva sumedhaistam
Tribir Uttama Kalpakai
Tribhir Uttama Kalpakai
Tadyasha Bhavanam Dikshu
Tadyasya Pavanam Dikshu
Sathamanyor Iva Tanot
Tatamanyor Ivatanot
Yajayitva Swamedaistam
Yajyavitva Svamedhesta
Tribir Uttama Kalpakai
Tribhir Uttama Kalpakai
Tadyasha Pavanam Dikshu
Tadyasya Pavanam Dikshu
Sathamanyor Iva Tanot
Tatamanyor Ivatanot
Yajayitva Swamedaistam
Yajyavitva Svamedhaistam
Tribir Uttama Kalpakai
Tribhir Uttama Kalpakai
Tadyasha Pavanam Dikshu Shatamanyor Iva Tanot. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhicharna Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Yeah.
Synonyms. Yajayitva, by performing.
Yajayitva, by performing.
Ashwamedaihi, yajna in which a horse is sacrificed.
Ashwamedhai, yajna in which horse is sacrificed.
Tam, him, King Yudhishthira.
From him, King Yudhishthira.
Tribihi, three.
Tribhi, three.
Uttama, best.
Uttama, best.
Kalpakaihi, supplied with proper ingredients and performed by able priests.
Kalpakai, supplied with proper ingredients and performed by able priests.
Tat, that.
Tat, that.
Yasha, fame.
Yasha, fame.
Pavanam, virtuous.
Pavanam, virtuous.
Dikshu, all directions.
Dikshu, all directions.
Satamanyo, Indra, who performed 100 such sacrifices.
Tatamanyo, Indra, who performed 100 such sacrifices.
Iva, like.
Eva, like.
Atanot, spread.
Atanot, spread.
Translation, please repeat after me. Lord Sri Krishna caused 3 well-performed Ashwamedha yajnas, all sacrifices.
Lord Sri Krishna caused 3 well-performed Ashwamedha yajnas or sacrifices
to be conducted by Maharaja Yudhishthira.
To be conducted by Maharaja Yudhishthira.
And thus caused his virtuous fame to be glorified in all directions.
And thus caused his virtuous fame to be glorified in all directions.
Like that of Indra, who had performed 100 such sacrifices.
like that of Indra, who had performed 100 such sacrifices.
Purport.
Purport. This is something like the preface to the performances of Ashwamedha Yajna by Maharaj Yudhishthira. The comparison of Maharaj Yudhishthira to the King of Heaven is significant. The King of Heaven is thousands and thousands of times greater than Maharaj Yudhishthira in opulence. Yet the fame of Maharaj Yudhishthira was not less. The reason is that Maharaj Yudhishthira was a pure devotee of the Lord, and by his grace only was King Yudhishthira on the level of the King of Heaven. Even though he performed only 3 yajnas, whereas the King of Heaven performed hundreds, that is the prerogative of the devotee of the Lord. The Lord is equal to everyone, but a devotee of the Lord is more glorified because he is always in touch with the all great. The sun rays are equally distributed, but still there are some places which are always dark. This is not due to the sun, but to the receptive power. Similarly, those who are 100% devotees of the Lord get the full-fledged mercy of the Lord, which is always equally distributed everywhere.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pathaka Swamin Iti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nithaya Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kata Damadhaya Nagara Grama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavate Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudanam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangun Langai Tegirim Et Kripa Tamaham Mande Sri Gurum Dinatharinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So in this verse, Srila Prabhupada is giving a very nice purport to understand that why this Yudhishthira Maharaj is compared to Lord Indra in fame. Lord Indra has performed 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas, then only he can become Lord Indra. And he has become the Lord Indra by qualifying himself according to the Vedic injunctions by performing 100 Ashwamedha Yajna. And despite he acquired the post by qualification, that means he is fit to be Indra. Still, if anybody is performing such great sacrifices for 100 sacrifices, he is very fearful that his post may be snatched away. Though he is qualified, still the fear is there. For example, when Bali Maharaj has performed 100 sacrifices, he was so fearful and he has disturbed and he went and pleaded to the Supreme Lord. And when Maharaja Prutu performed 100th sacrifice, 99th sacrifice, he was disturbing so much because Indra was very fearful. If this person is going to perform 100 sacrifice, what will happen to my post? That will be given to him. He becomes qualified. Despite Indra is qualified. And then the Lord Vishnu came and he told Prithu, let us stop. Brahma came. Brahma has advised Prithu, you see, unnecessarily you are agitating Indra. If you perform one more sacrifice, Indra becomes unstable. So please don't perform. Stop at 99. And in this way, Maharaja Prithu, who was not interested to become Indra, he is the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why should he want to become Indra? But he performed. So he stopped at 99 sacrifices, and he didn't do the 100th one, so that Indra was pacified. Like that, so many places wherever there somebody is, doing whole sacrifices for almost nearing 100, Indra is getting so much agitated. In this Kali Yuga, when you walk in the Mayapur Dham, each step you walk is Ashwamedha Yajna. You get the result of Ashwamedha Yajna. So there are so many who has walked more than 100 steps on the Sri Mayapur Dham. What Indra could do, Indra cannot do anything. So when one is a devotee of Krishna, Indra can't do anything. When you perform the Ashwamedha Yajna as a king, then Indra can disturb you. But when you are being a devotee, he won't. Anyway, that is another thing. So here, Yudhishthira Maharaj is compared to Lord Indra, not because of Yudhishthira Maharaj has performed almost near 100 whole sacrifices. Yudhishthira Maharaj has done only 3 whole sacrifices. That was his capacity, that too by the mercy of the Lord. It is not very easy to conduct even one Ashwamedha Yajna actually. And it is not that easy at all. But Indra was able to do 3 Ashwamedha Yajnas by the mercy of Lord Sri Krishna. But still, he is compared to Indra, who performed 100 such whole sacrifices. How? Because, and Indra is, million times more opulent than Yudhishthira. So then what is there for comparison with Indra? It is because of the fame. What Indra has achieved his fame by performing 100 sacrifices. Lord Sri Krishna has given more fame than that to Yudhishthira in just 3 whole sacrifices. So that is the beauty of being a devotee of Krishna. When Krishna has decided that he wants to give the fame more than Indra, it does not necessary that Yudhishthira should perform 100 whole sacrifices. Even in one sacrifice or without any sacrifice also, Krishna can give. He made more famous, he made Arjuna concord even Lord Shiva. So Krishna can do anything. He is the one, and his devotees, his representatives, they can do anything. They are the doer of impossible possible. Because in their dictionary, the word impossible is not there. So that is a Prabhupada always asking, what is the difficulty? It's such a simple process of chanting Hare Krishna, become Krishna conscious, and you achieve great, great things that you cannot achieve otherwise. What is the difficulty? So for a Vaishnava who is a representative of Krishna or Lord Krishna, there is nothing impossible. Or if there is anything impossible, they can make it possible. So though it's surprising that why Maharaja Yudhishthira conducted only 3 Ashwamedha Yajnas compared to the king of heaven, that is because of fame. In fame, king of heaven is less than Maharaja Yudhishthira. And this happens only because Yudhishthira Maharaj is pure devotee of Krishna. Okay, only because of that it is happening. And this is the prerogative of the devotee of the Lord. A devotee of the Lord is not behind fame. Yudhishthira Maharaj is not behind fame. But he gets fame more than Indra. This is because he is a pure devotee of the Lord. Though the Lord is equal to everyone. But when it is a devotee, he is more glorified. Why? Because he is always in touch with the devotee. Means one who is constantly in touch with Krishna. Devotee means one who always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Devotee means at every moment he is remembering either some pastimes of Krishna, or he would be chanting the holy name of the Lord, or he would be, distributing Prabhupada books or prasadam, or he would be discussing Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, or any pastimes related to great acharyas, Vaishnavas. A devotee means one who is either talking of Mayapur Dham, Vrindavan Dham, or live in such holy places and always engaged in devotional service. Such a person is called a devotee. In so far he is always in touch with Krishna, who is all great, automatically he gets more glorified, and sometimes a devotee becomes more powerful than the Lord by the mercy of the Lord. For example, Lord Ramachandra, when we wanted to cross the ocean to Sri Lanka, Lord Ramachandra had to construct a bridge on the ocean to cross. But he has empowered Hanuman more than himself, that in one jump, Hanuman was able to cross the Indian Ocean across to Sri Lanka. So this is the beauty of the devotee of the Lord. And Prabhupada is giving a very beautiful analogy here. The sun rays are equally distributed, but still there are some places which are always dark. So sun rays are always distributed. Everybody knows that. But still there are places that is dark. It is not the fault of sun. It is not because of the sun, but it is because of they don't want to receive the power of sun. That's all. So the Lord's favor is available to everybody. Okay, it is not that only to Yudhishthira he has empowered, only to Arjuna he has empowered, only to Prahlad Maharaj he has empowered, only to Dhruva he has empowered. No. Only to Narada he has empowered. No. The Lord's mercy, the Lord's blessings, the Lord's favor is there available like torrent of rain on every living entity. But who wants to perceive it? You want to keep yourself in the dark room by shutting all the windows, doors, putting curtain closely, not allowing the sunlight to come in. What can be done? What can be done? Krishna consciousness is so openly available all over the world, just like the ray of sun, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who himself is a ray of Vishnu. So it's available freely to every living entity, this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and the process of Bhakti Yoga. But if someone wants to keep himself dark by keeping himself aloof from them, what can be done? He is unfortunate. So this example here is very significant. What Srila Prabhupada is giving in the purport, that the sun rays are equally distributed. But still, there are some places which are always dark, and this is not due to the sun, but to the receptive power. So similarly, those who are 10% devotees of the Lord get the full-fledged mercy of the Lord. If you go to sunlight, you get sunlight. If you go under the sun, you get sunlight. But if you keep yourself in the darkness, how sunlight will reach? Sunlight is distributed everywhere equally. Similarly, the Lord's mercy is like torrent of rain. It's available to every living entity. Impartially, equivocally, it is distributed. But everywhere, to every living entity, it is available. But who wants to perceive can get benefit out of it. Very, very beautiful analogy here. So we'll go to the next verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse 7. Amantriya Pandu Putramscha.
Amantriya Pandu Putramscha.
Saine Yodhava Samyuta.
Saine Yodhava Samyuta.
Dvaipayanadhibhir Viprai.
Dvaipayanadhibhir Viprai.
Pujitai Pratipujita.
Pujitai Pratipujita.
Amantriya Pandu Putramscha.
Amantriya Pandu Putramscha.
Saine Yodhava Samyuta.
Saine Yodhava Samyuta.
Dvaipayanadhibhir Viprai.
Dvaipayanadhibhir Viprai.
Pujitai Pratipujita.
Pujitai Pratipujita.
Amantriya Pandu Putramscha.
Amantriya Pandu Putramscha.
Saine Yodava Samyuta
Saine Yodhava Samyuta
Dvaipayanadibhi Viprai
Dvaipayanadibhirviprai
Pujitai Pratipujita.
Pujitai Pratipujita.
Synonyms: Amantriya, inviting.
Amantraya, inviting.
Pandu Putran, all the sons of Pandu.
Pandu Putran, all the sons of Pandu.
Cha, also.
Cha, also.
Saineya, Satyaki.
Saineya, Satyaki.
Uddhava, Uddhava.
Uddhava, Uddhava.
Samyutha, accompanied.
Samyuta, accompanied.
Dvaipayana Adibhi, by the rishis like Vyasa, Veda Vyasa.
Dvaipayana Adibhi, by the rishis like Vedavyasa.
Viprehi, by the Brahmanas.
Viprai, by the Brahmanas.
Pujitai, being worshipped.
Pujitai, being worshipped.
Pratipujita, the Lord also reciprocated equally.
Pratipujita, the Lord also reciprocated equally.
Translation, please repeat after me. Lord Sri Krishna then prepared for his departure.
Lord Sri Krishna then prepared for his departure.
He invited the sons of Pandu.
He invited the sons of Pandu.
After having been worshipped by the Brahmanas.
After having been worshipped by the Brahmanas.
Headed by Srila Vyasadeva.
Headed by Srila Vyasadeva.
The Lord also reciprocated greetings.
The Lord also reciprocated greetings.
Purport.
Apparently, Lord Sri Krishna was a Kshatriya and was not worshipable by the Brahmanas. But the Brahmanas present there, headed by Srila Vyasadeva, all knew him to be the personality of Godhead, and therefore they worshipped him. The Lord reciprocated the greetings just to honor the social order that a Kshatriya is obedient to the orders of the Brahmanas. Although Lord Sri Krishna was always offered the respects due to Supreme Lord from all responsible quarters, the Lord never deviated from the customary usages between the four orders of the society. The Lord purposely observed all the social customs so that others would follow him in the future.
Yom Tat Sat. So everything is settled and Yudhishthira is enthroned. 3 hard sacrifices are done. Yudhishthira is made famous in all directions, more than the famous of Indra. And Lord is satisfied with his duty. And the devotees taken up their positions and responsibilities to assist the Lord in the administrative affairs of this universe. When he entrusts his creation and the living entities, especially into the hand of a devotee, the Lord becomes very pleased. So he has entrusted all the citizens in the hands of Yudhishthira, so that who is a pure devotee of the Lord, so that the Varnashrama Dharma will prevail in such a way that the Varnashrama Dharma will not be interpreted for the want of material life progress or so-called civilization. Rather, they will use the Varnashrama Dharma for want of spiritual advancement. Varnashrama Dharma will not be misused when it is in the hands of devotees. So that is the beauty of it. And after that, he has prepared for his departure. So Lord Krishna thought that, okay, now my mission is accomplished. So I can go back to Dwaraka. So in this way, and he invited all the 5 Panduputras, and he was worshipped by Brahmanas under the leadership of Srila Vyasadeva. And then the Lord is also reciprocated depending upon yatatman prapatyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham, how much one is surrendered, and that much he will be reciprocating, award him accordingly. So here Prabhupada is writing in the purport, since Lord Krishna represented a Kshatriya, so here he was not worshipable by the Brahmanas, but under Vyasadeva's leadership, they have worshipped Krishna. So how it is? Because everybody knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is not a Kshatriya or Vaishya or Sudra or Brahmana. He is just outwardly posing to follow this particular customs and traditions of the four Varnashrama dharmas, so that people in common who are fools, they will follow at least this great personality. So that is the reason why Krishna is reciprocating according to the Varnashrama dharma etiquettes. However, one great change you can see here, which has never happened before nor happened after. That is, all the Brahmanas, especially under Vyasadeva, who is the literary incarnation of Krishna, who gave the Brahmanas how they should do, what they should worship, whom to worship, whom not to worship, everything. Generally, Brahmanas, they don't worship these Kshatriyas. But though Krishna appeared as a Kshatriya, here Vyasadeva and all the Brahmanas have worshipped Krishna. So this is a great change. It is not according to the Vedic injunctions in the Varnashrama dharma, but Krishna reciprocated based on Varnashrama dharma. Okay, they did not. Why? Because they know for sure Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is beyond all Varnas and all ashramas. So worshipping him is the primary duty of the every living entity. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishesi satyam te pratijane prayosi me. So Krishna is telling, so one should offer obeisances to him, one should worship him, and this is in Bhagavad Gita, and this is written by Srila Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva, by living by example, heading all the Brahmanas, have worshipped Lord Krishna. And Sri Krishna, he was always respected naturally because he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and anyone knows him as such, why will not respect him? So that is very natural. But the Lord, as he come down, he plays a role of a human. So he has also reciprocated depending upon the social customs. Why? That is purposely he has done. Purposely he has observed all the social custom. That why? Because so that common people will follow. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what a great man will perform, common will follow. So Krishna wants that common people should follow. At the same time, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. As long as your process of following religious principle is to surrender to Krishna, that is all right. You don't need to give up. But any other kaitava dharma projita kaitava atra, that you have to give up, because that's waste of time. Not only it's a waste of time, but also it is more and more entangling you on in the birth, death, old age, disease of this material world. So Krishna wants to relieve them from these clutches. So he says, give up all this kaitava dharma. Have only one dharma, supreme dharma. What is that? Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The supreme dharma of everyone in their life is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, sarva dharma, all other dharma should be parityaja, give up and surrender unto me, mamekam sharanam vraja. That is your supreme dharma. That is the process of dharma. Anyway, so we'll go to the next verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse 8. Gantum kritamatir brahman.
Gantum kritamatir brahman.
Dvarakam ratamastita.
Dvarakam aratham ashtita.
Upalebhe abhidhavantim.
Upalebhe bhidha bhavintim.
Uttarambhaya vihabalam.
Uttarambhaya vihavalam.
Gantum kritamatir brahman.
Gantum kritamatir brahman.
Dvarakam ratam astita.
Dvarakam ratam astita.
Upalebhe bhidhavantim.
Upalebe bhidhavantim.
Uttarambhaya vihvalam.
Uttarambhaya vihvalam.
Gantum kritamatir brahman.
Gantum kritamatir brahman.
Dvarakam ratam astita.
Dvarakam ratha astita.
Upalebhe vidhavantim.
Upalebhe
Uttaram bhaya vihvalam.
Uttaram bhaya vihpalam.
Synonyms: Gantum, just desiring to start.
Gantum, just desiring to start.
Kritamati, having decided.
Kritamati, having decided.
Brahman, O Brahmana.
Brahman, O Brahmana.
Dwarakam, towards Dwaraka.
Dwarakam, towards Dwaraka.
Ratham, on the chariot.
Ratham, on the chariot.
Astitha, seated.
Astita, seated.
Upalebe, sa.
Upalebhe, saw.
Abhidwan, Abhidhavantim, coming hurriedly.
Abhidhavantim, coming hurriedly.
Uttaram, Uttara.
Uttaram, Uttara.
Bhaya Vihvalam, being afraid.
Bhaya vihvalam, being afraid.
Translation, please repeat after me. As soon as he seated himself on the chariot to start for Dwaraka,
As soon as he seated himself on the chariot to start for Dwaraka,
he saw Uttara hurrying toward him in fear.
he saw Uttara hurrying toward him in fear.
Purport.
All the members of the family of the Pandavas were completely dependent on the protection of the Lord, and therefore the Lord protected all of them in all circumstances. The Lord protects everyone, but one who depends completely upon him is specially looked after by the Lord. The father is more attentive to the little son who is exclusively dependent on the father.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So here the Lord is prepared to move to Dwaraka. He has climbed on his chariot, positioned himself, and he was just about ready to, go to Dwaraka. So as soon as he sat on the chariot and just about to start for Dwaraka, then he saw Uttara is Abhimanyu's wife, Arjuna and Subhadra's daughter-in-law, who is carrying in her womb the Parikshit Maharaj, the son of Abhimanyu, the grandson of Arjuna. So she was rushing towards Krishna, and she doesn't seem to be rushing out of love or out of anything. She's rushing out of fear, as if somebody is behind her and she is coming for a rescue. So this is the beauty here. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho. Any devotee, the Vrajavasis and all the pure devotees, they are always remain surrendered to Krishna. Not only when they are coming across a calamity, when they are coming across a fearful situation. Actually, a Vaishnava, they don't fear at all, because they have already surpassed death, and there is nothing more fearful than death to this conditioned soul. And Vaishnava is one who has already crossed the death. So why there is fear? So he is naturally a paradukha dukhi. So fear is not for themselves. Fear is for always others. They fear offenses. They fear that others' death without becoming Krishna conscious, somebody dies. It is the fear, because the human life has been given by the special mercy of Krishna to the fallen conditioned soul, and they are dying simply like animals, living, eating, mating, sleeping, and defending, and they are dying. So before death of them, Vaishnava will fear, oh my God, before his death, he should chant Hare Krishna. So this is the fear for others. So here also, Uttara is very rushing towards Krishna with full of fear, as if somebody is chasing her, threatening life. So whenever the devotee is having such a fearful situation, automatically their mouth start pronouncing Krishna Krishna Mahabaho. We have seen this in Arjuna also, when Ashwatthama shoot the nuclear weapon, Brahmastra, out of fear, and he doesn't know what to do, because he doesn't have any other opportunity or any other alternative to rescue himself. He launched a Brahmastra by subtle mantras. And Arjuna, he was a Kshatriya, he was challenged But he was not, facing it, though he can face it. He only took shelter of Krishna, saying Krishna, Krishna Mahabaho. When Indra poured a torrent of rains with the Somortha cloud to destroy entire Vrindavan, it is not that Vrajavasis are powerless. Vrajavasis can throw Indra into outer space that he can never reach back to his feet. They are so powerful, but they are devotees of Krishna. So they simply take shelter of Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Mahabaho. So here also you can see Uttara. So she is protected by all the 5 Pandavas, and she is bearing the hair of the entire Pandava dynasty, the last hair. All other 5 sons are already dead, of Draupadi. So now only Uttara is carrying Parikshit Maharaj in her womb, and she must have felt some danger. So she is rushing towards Krishna when Krishna was about to leave. So this is a very beautiful position of devotee, whether it is Uttara or it is Arjuna or it is Vrajavasis, it makes no difference, you see, whether it is Draupadi. They simply say Krishna, Krishna Mahabahu. They're always remembering Krishna only. So why not in danger? It is not that when danger comes, I should not remember Krishna. You should remember Krishna all the time. You should never forget Krishna any time. Every moment, every fraction of the second, we should always remember Krishna by chanting the holy name or discussing Krishna's pastime or thinking and remembering Krishna's pastime, doing some devotional service. So we should remain without cessation in devotional service. And that is the most important identity of a devotee, Jivera Swarupaya Nitya Krishna Dasa. So why not when in danger that they will call out Krishna? In normal time also they are calling out Krishna only. So in danger time also they will naturally call out Krishna because they don't have anyone to call out. They don't have any other reservation or engagement other than thinking of Krishna and calling out Krishna. Whether the situation is danger or calamity comes or whatever it comes, they know that material world is full of calamity. Padam padam yati patamna tesham. At every step there is danger. So better to remember Krishna at every step in life. Always chant Krishna's name. And naturally, here, our Uttara is hurrying towards Krishna. So let us see what she is coming to say. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Verse 9. Uttarovacha.
Uttaravacha.
Pahi pahi mahayogin.
Pahi pahi mahayogin.
Deva deva jagatpate.
Deva deva jagatpate.
Nanyam tvadabhayam pasye.
Nanyam tvad abhyam pashye.
Yatra mrityu parasparam.
Yatra mrityu parasparam.
Uttara
Uttaravacha.
pahi pahi mahayogin.
Pahi pahi mahayogin.
Deva deva jagatpate.
Deva deva jagatpate.
Nanyam tvadabhayam pasye.
Nanyam tvadabhayam pashye.
Yatra mrityu parasparam.
Yatra mrityu parasparam.
Uttara
Uttaravacha.
pahi pahi mahayogin.
Pahi pahi mahayogin.
Deva deva jagatpate.
Deva deva jagatpate.
Nanyam tvadabhayam pasye.
Nanyam tvadabhayam pashye.
Yatra mrityu parasparam.
Yatra mrityu parasparam.
Synonyms. Uttara uvacha. Uttara said.
Uttara uvacha. Uttara said.
Pahi pahi. Protect. Protect.
Pahi pahi. Protect. Protect.
Mahayogin. The greatest mystic.
Mahayogin. The greatest mystic.
Mystic. Deva deva. The worshipable of the worshipped.
Deva deva. The worshipable of the worshipped.
Jagatpati. O Lord of the universe.
Jagatpate. O Lord of the universe.
No, not.
No, not.
Anyam, anyone else.
Anyam, anyone else.
Tvat, than you.
Tvat, than you.
Abhayam, fearlessness.
Abhayam, fearlessness.
Pashye, do I see.
Pashye, do I see.
Yatra, where there is.
Yatra, where there is.
Mrityu, death.
Mrityu, death.
Parasparam, in the world of duality.
Parasparam, in the world of duality.
Translation, please repeat after me. Uttara said,
Uttara said,
O Lord of Lords,
O Lord of Lords,
Lord of the universe,
Lord of the universe,
you are the greatest of mystics.
you are the greatest of mystics.
Please protect me.
Please protect me.
Protect me, for there is no one else
Protect me, for there is no one else
who can save me from the clutches of death
who can save me from the clutches of death
in this world of duality.
in this world of duality.
Purport.
This material world is the world of duality. In contrast with the oneness of this absolute realm, the world of duality is composed of matter and spirit, whereas the absolute world is complete spirit without any tinge of the material qualities. In the dual world, everyone is falsely trying to become the master of the world, whereas in the absolute world, the Lord is the absolute Lord, and all others are his absolute servitors. In the world of duality, everyone is envious of all others, and death is inevitable due to the dual existence of matter and spirit. The Lord is the only shelter of fearlessness for the surrendered soul. One cannot save himself from the cruel hands of death in the material world without having surrendered himself at the lotus feet of the Lord.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So we are seeing here the very beautiful words of Uttara. Pahi Pahi Mahabhagin. So either they come with Krishna Krishna Mahabaho, Ya Pahi Pahi Mahayogin, Ya Krishna Krishna Pahi Mam, Krishna Krishna Rakshamam. So Deva Deva Jagatpade, in whatever situation, when the Ashwatthama thrown the missile, nuclear missile, Brahmastra, Arjuna started, Krishna Krishna Mahabaho, and then he was glorifying Krishna. And then he's putting forth his questions. That is the beauty. And this is not artificial that they are ready. Okay, whenever danger comes, I will start worshiping Krishna Krishna Mahabaho, Deva Deva Jagatpate. No, it is natural. It is natural. It is imbibed in the soul. That is the way you address the Lord. The way you address the Lord is, just, of course, first you can say, oh, protect me. Oh, Lord, who is the carrier of the chariot wheel? Oh, Lord, who is the protector of the devotees? That is Sattvatam. Oh, Lord, Deva Deva Jagatpate. So it is very natural. The Lord's name is never taken alone. The Lord's name is taken along with some wonderful pastime, wonderful activities that he performs, because the Lord is named by devotee by virtue of his wonderful fiat, wonderful activities and pastime. So how can you take the name alone without the wonderful activity associated with that? It is not by rule. It is not by regulation. It is not by practice. It is the out of affection, love, naturally. Okay. So Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate. So first is praise the Lord, and then put forth your situation, and then surrender unto him. That's all. So she says, Oh Lord of the Lord, oh Lord of the universe, hey Jagannatha, you are great mystics. So protect me, for no one else can save me. So only you, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can save anybody from the duality of birth and death, at least from the death. Because it is said, Swalpam abhyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. Even a little inclined to perform devotional service or little performance of devotional service will save one from greatest danger. And what is the greatest danger? The greatest danger is death. So how he will be saved? The Lord, because he has done some little devotional service, at least the Lord will naturally, he is there in the form of Paramatma in his heart, and he knows that death is coming to this guy. At the time, he will make this person remember Krishna. And in this way, Swalpam abhyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. Even a little performance of devotion service will save one from greatest danger. And the greatest danger is death. And how to save from the greatest danger, death, when the death comes? Only by chanting, calling out the Lord's name. So he will give the remembrance. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am giving the remembrance. I am giving the forgetfulness. I am giving the intelligence. Everything he is giving. And in this way, this particular devotee or anybody who is performing devotional service at the time of death is rescued. That is why Krishna boldly says, Arjuna boldly declare that Name Bhakta Pranashyati. So my devotee will never perish. So these are all very, very important. How the devotee naturally behaves when the most dangerous situation, it's a situation reaction test. Ashwatthama was put in the situation reaction test. What did he do? He launched the Brahmastra. Arjuna was put in the same situation reaction test, in the same death scenario. What did he do? He said, Krishna, Krishna, Mahabaho. He took shelter of Krishna. Now Uttara is put in the same death situation. What she does? She does Deva Deva Jagatpate, Pahimam, Pahimam. So this is the natural of position of the devotees, whether she's a female or he's a male, doesn't matter. A devotee is devotee, and devotee always knows how to take shelter of Krishna, for he never forgets Krishna and always remember Krishna. This is the position of devotee. And she is very exactly, like Arjuna, like Vrajavasis, how they have taken shelter of Krishna, how they are depending on Krishna. Similarly, they have also done. And Prabhupada very beautifully explaining in the purport that how this material world is full of duality, and where in the absolute realm there is no duality, there is only oneness. So the world of duality is, why the world of duality? Because there must be two things in order to be duality. So what are all the two things available here in the material world? One is matter and another is spirit. So the duality is there. Because there are two things. When matter and spirit, two things are there, what is the difficulty in understanding there is duality? And when in the spiritual world only spirit is there, how can there be duality? Because there is no other thing available there. Only everything is spiritual. So there is no duality. But here everything is not material. Spirit soul is entangled. So there is duality. So when there are two things, there is duality naturally, isn't it? So absolute world is complete spiritual. So there is no tinge of material qualities also. And if you have tinge of material attachment, you will be here only. You cannot go to that absolute world. This Prabhupada has already told. So in the dual world, everyone is falsely will only try to become the master, where they are actually servant. In the absolute world, the Lord is already established master, and there is no competition to him, and his post is not vacant, and nobody is trying for that. So they all understand their constitutional eternal position in relationship with Krishna. And then they perform wonderful devotional service, ahaituki apratihata, without any tinge of motivation, interruption, or disturbances or reservation. They perform devotional service out of affection, out of love. So that is the situation of a devotee, whether he is there or he is here. He is always in the liberated position. Even though he is in the material world, having given a material body, still they are not conditioned by material body. Don't think that anybody who has material body is conditioned soul. No, need not necessarily. Because you are not the body, why you want to be conditioned just because you are given a body? You can be given thousands of bodies. Doesn't matter why I should be conditioned at all. I am a liberated person. Liberated means I am connected to Krishna. Conditioned means I am disconnected from Krishna. So when you are connected to Krishna, then how can you be conditioned? Every devotee at the time of performing devotional service, whether chanting the holy name of the Lord, reading or discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, eating or distributing prasadam, reading or distributing Srila Prabhupada books, any devotional service, when they are performing devotional service, at that particular time, they are liberated 100% sure. You are dancing in a kirtan, you are liberated at that time. So any devotee, they are performing devotional service. At that time, they are liberated. Devotional service means the act which is in connection with Krishna is called a devotional service. There are 9 types of devotional service that Prahlad Maharaj has taught us. So there is no material quality in the devotional service. In such a situation, a devotee always remains at the shelter of Krishna or his representative. So here in this Kali Yuga, we have the bona fide spiritual master. So we can take shelter of bona fide spiritual master. Our Guru Maharaj is excellent spiritual master of I ever know about spiritual master. And he is unprecedented according to my experience, my say realizations and my connections with him and everything. So when you take such a bona fide spiritual master's shelter, then why you want to fear? You will not fear, but still you will fear. For why you will fear? You will fear for others. They are lacking this opportunity and they are going to die. They have been given rare human form of life by the mercy of Krishna, and they misused this also just like animal. Why? And will they get another body? Further, all activity, they will get animal body only because all the activities they performed are abominable. How can they be awarded human birth again? They're losing such a precious chance and they are not even, conscious of that, what they are missing here. What they are missing. So the devotee is always fearful. And the Lord is the only shelter of fearlessness. So when the devotee is always fearless, he is at the shelter of the Lord. When the devotee becomes fearful, still he will remain in the shelter of Lord, because the Lord is the shelter for fearlessness. Because fear personified will fear Krishna. So fearlessness taken shelter of Krishna. So if you take Krishna's shelter, then you become fearless. It is very simple. So this is the position of a devotee, and Uttara has very beautifully, did this. So any questions or comments or realization, please share with me.
No.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So thank you for your association, and we'll start sharp at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord congregationally. But tomorrow there will not be any Bhagavatam class because weekend, and we will resume our Bhagavatam class day after tomorrow on Monday after chanting the holy name at a given time. Thank you very much. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Padita Pan Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Padita Pan Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai, Bhagavat Satsang ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namah.